Tell me, darling, could we run away? We could hide away by the cactus desert blue. I can see it just a mile away from this crowded place. I could lay there next to you.
All right, hey guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Shelley.
I'm Tiffany.
And our channel is called bfffs. And this is our first episode. So today we're just going to kind of introduce ourselves to you and kind of tell you what our channel is going to be about. So I'm Shelley. I'm 33. I'm from West Virginia. My birthday is in August. I'm a Leo. I am single. I have 3 pets. I have 2 dogs, Vera and Willow, and I have 1 cat named Tags. I am a Title I teacher and with 4th graders. I love to read and to exercise. My favorite color is sky blue. My favorite movie is Timeline. My favorite character from that movie is Andre Merrick, played by Gerard Butler. My favorite TV show is Supernatural. And of course, Dean and Sam are my favorite characters from that show. My favorite house appliance would be my air fryer. Makes life much easier. My favorite actor is Gerard Butler. And my favorite actress, I don't really have one as of right now. So.
Nice. All right. My name is Tiffany. I'm 33. My birthday is in July. I am a Cancer, true and true. I'm from West Virginia as well. I am married. I have 3 children and a dog. And I work for the schools as a substitute cook. That's half-time and then full-time as a mom. My favorite hobby, I like to watch TV and eat lots of food. My favorite color is pink. My favorite movie is Mean Girls. My favorite character in that movie would have to be Kat, the main character. My favorite book is Forever by Judy Blume, and the main character is my favorite in that as well. My favorite house appliance that I just recently got is a rice cooker. Don't know how I lived without it. And my favorite actor and actress, that's a tough one. I would say I love Robin Williams. That's my favorite actor. And then my favorite actress used to be Julia Roberts when I was a kid. So we'll stick with that for now because I can't think of my favorite actress as of today. All right. So that's us. That's who we are. And I guess Shelley and I can talk about how we met. So kind of be a little story time.
We met, our first year of college in 2006,
Yes,
going to Fairmont State University.
Yeah, that was your first year, but my second semester, because I started in 2005 and took a semester off and then started back in the fall of 2006. They roomed us together, they paired us up, and Shelley and I have been friends since then. So 14 years later, and here we are.
I mean, it's like we were meant to be friends. I mean, we got along really well from the start, really. I mean, I think we met once before we moved in together, or roomed together. And then, yeah, we've been friends since.
Yep. We roomed together, then we got an apartment together, and then I started a family. Shelley continued on becoming a teacher. What else? I don't know. That's pretty much, well, I mean, I guess it's not like this big elaborate story.
No, I mean, it's been, yeah, I mean, that's how we met. That's where it all started off. And then we kind of, now, I mean, like you said, going through marriage and kids.
Yep.
I mean,
buying houses.
And then we get there for birthdays.
Yep. Yeah. But
so
yep. Shelley is my best friend and more like my sister. I say she's my sister.
I can see, yeah, more sister than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Shelley has sisters of her own. I have sisters of mine, but I definitely talk to Shelley more than I talk to my siblings.
I know I do. My siblings and I are not that close.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Right. Well, it's not that we hate them. It's just we like each other more than we like them, maybe.
Well, they do. I mean, but we don't live in the same city, so it does make it hard to like. But we do. We make it time to get together during the summers, especially, and the kids' birthdays and things like that. We make a point to get together and make time. Like when you guys come up this way,
Yep. When we
we
come,
make it a point to get together.
we're not far from each other. We're not like hours away. We're
No,
about just under an hour. So it's manageable when
yeah.
we really want to get together and hang out.
Mhm.
Okay. So I guess we could talk about the mini segments and what we're going to do with each of those, what they're going to be about. So
Mhm.
the first
So
one was,
first, glory days, right?
yes, and that was more of an original idea because everybody likes to talk about current movies and current shows, current current music, current like what's the new trends, like anything current. So we were thinking, let's rewind, do like a throwback type thing and talk about things from our past, the glory days. And so we're going to talk about movies and books and TV and restaurants and stores, anything that we can think of that we can remember when we were children and kind of what was trending back then. And we'll just talk about them. And we already have stuff lined up for our next episode on what we're going to talk about for that stuff. And we're both really excited. We've been doing our homework and we're getting really close to getting that ready.
Yep.
And then,
Yes, we've been watching all of that. So we're excited.
yep. Shelley, I'll let you talk about Wild and Wonderful.
So Wild and Wonderful West Virginia, we kind of thought of that too, as we would do one wonderful thing about West Virginia, something that maybe a lot of people don't know about it, or something that's happened in our state that is good news, or something that's positive. And then Wild, something that you don't see every day, maybe in the news cycles or whatever, something that is just kind of you don't hear about a whole lot from our state or any states for that matter. But we're going to focus on that in that segment.
Yeah. And then next is Reddit reads. So we're just going to find stories, funny things that are on Reddit and read them off and make fun of them or not, and just kind of have fun with that. More of a lighthearted topic type thing.
And then we have Girl Talk, which is kind of like where we're basically story time for us, just kind of talking about, things that have happened to us during the week, or, since we've talked to you guys last or whatever. We'll talk about that with you all. Just fun things that have happened. Or just, sometimes I guess it could get serious too, depending on what's going on.
Well, just girly stuff.
We have spooky time, story time, yeah.
Yeah. And then
So story time will just be, I guess, basically us telling what our stuff about what I don't know, things that we've done,
right.
Things that we're talking about.
Yep.
Then there's spooky time, or what I think we're going to call it conspiracy corner or ghost gab or things like that. We'll just talk about, haunted things or just things that are conspiracies to people, and we'll do our research on that and talk about that, whether it be in this state or other places.
Right.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Ghost stories, conspiracy theories, which I love to watch about those and catch up on what's the new conspiracy. There's a lot out there, especially after this year. We're doing hot topics.
Oh yeah, especially.
Yeah.
Which I think we're going to call tabloid treasure.
Yep. So that'll just be hot topics, which is what a lot of people are familiar with already. Just what's going on in the news, what's trending in the news.
And then we'll do shower talk, which I think we're going to call pop-up thoughts. So things that you come up with when it could be anytime, like maybe when you're driving or when you're in the shower, or when you're exercising. Things just pop into your brain or mind that are kind of like, make you think a little bit.
Yeah. Or why did I just think about that?
Yes. Yep. And then we'll have our meat and potatoes part, our M&P.
Yeah, that will be like the bigger part of the episode. So, like, for instance, next week we are going to talk about the holiday season, or the next episode. Yeah, we'll talk about everything from traditions to the holiday blues to the atmosphere. So, we already have that lined up, and that will just be the majority of the episode. And it will range from anything we feel like you guys want to hear or what we want to talk about. So Shelley's talking about her pets.
Yep, they're kind of like my children. One's I call Vera my teenager. She's my Yorkie. She has the attitude like one. And then Willow, she's a mix breed. I got her about a little over a year ago, the day after my birthday, actually. I found out on my birthday that I got to bring her home. So she keeps me on my toes too, but they love each other and they fight like sisters, as they do. But no, they're both really good. I don't know what I'd do without them. And then Tag's my cat. She kind of just stays to herself a lot. Comes out. She doesn't much care for Willow. So she kind of stays away from her. They don't get along very well, even after a year. So
Poor Tags. Cats are just so moody though. Like that's just a cat for you.
well, and it's crazy to think that Tags is still around because, I mean, obviously we lived in the apartment the year after I brought her into the apartment and had her. So she's almost, as old as how long we've been friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, at least 14 years old.
she's pretty close, if not. I mean, because I can't remember I don't think she was a kitten when I went to school. I don't think she was born when I left for college yet. I think it was after. But yeah, they all keep me on my toes.
Yeah,
And then
just
you've
like
got your family.
yeah. So I have a husband who's 4 years older than me, and him and I met in college as well. But I've known Shelley longer, and we've been married. Well, just this month made 12 years.
Holy tamale. That's crazy to me.
Well, I've been married 12 and together 13. So that's the longest relationship I've had. And then we have 3 children together. My oldest, I'll just use nicknames. Bodie is our oldest, and he is 11. He's actually getting ready to turn 12. So he's getting ready to turn 12. Right when this episode airs, he'll be 5 days away from turning 12. And then I have my second, who is we tried and tried for him, and we'll call him Eddie. And Eddie is 8. His birthday is also in July. And then we have our third, which is a girl. And I swore I was done with 2. I said I was done, no more. And then my husband wanted a girl, and I said, we'll just have another boy. And he's like, well, we'll keep trying. I said, nope, we're not going to keep trying. So we um so we had a third, and Shelley actually helped with the gender reveal. And like after I had my first 2, the gender reveals were slowly becoming a thing. So I was like, oh, okay. I really would love to do that, but I've already had my 2. So I just got to enjoy everybody else's. And then I got pregnant with my third, and I was like, oh, yay. So I can do a gender reveal. And so Shelley helped organize it, and we had cake and we had crab legs that night, which was really nice. And up until that point, I had horrible morning sickness with her, and the doctor finally gave me some medication to help with that, and it really did help because that Friday I was able to eat crab legs at my gender reveal, and my family was there, and his family was there, and our best friends Shelley and Jeremy were there, and I think that was it. My sister-in-law, she was also pregnant. My brother's wife, she was also pregnant along with me and my cousin. There was 3 of us in the family pregnant at the same time. And my cousin had already had her gender reveal, and my sister-in-law was sick that night and she couldn't make it. So she had to be FaceTimed in so that she could see. But her gender reveal, well, she wasn't getting ready to find out until a couple weeks after me. Because I think maybe 3 weeks. Because I think her daughter was born 3 weeks after Anessa. So anyway, we had the gender reveal, and we had the lady write it down in the envelope and gave it to Shelley. And Tony and I, we suspected we were having a girl. But that was because she was the first girl on both sides of the family, and so it was a very exciting moment for everybody. But I did not care. It did not. Every time I had a child, it did not matter to me. Boy, girl, to this day, it still does not matter. So whatever happens, happens. I just am grateful for all 3 of them. I'm grateful for their health, because I know a lot of people don't get that with their children. We've had incidents in our own family where children, certain things come up. So I am very grateful for their health alone. That's all that is important to me. And then we have.
I remember. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I just remember that night. I just remember, I was in the store getting the balloons, and I read it, and I was like, I probably looked so silly in the store because I was probably smiling from, ear to ear, knowing what I knew, that it was a girl. And then they probably thought I was crazy. And then taking it and watching Tony open up and how he reacted to it, I was just, that made it, for me, it was pretty cool to watch.
If I can figure out the editing and all of that, we have that video. So maybe if I can get really good at it, maybe I can edit that video in here so that we can show it.
I've been ready all day. I don't even know. Ready? What do you think? I'm not telling you. Okay. I think it's a girl. You think it's a girl? Don't do that. Tiffany, stand closer. You would go to I'm going to Okay. 1. You can go. 2, 3. Which one is it? The girl one? The girl. You only done what the doctor told
you. Called the baby when I was pregnant, Baby Olaf Engineer Cyborg. And so I had Shelley to get, remember I had you to get that Olaf balloon?
Yes, yeah.
So you put the pink stars in the Olaf. I said, I don't care what gender it is, Shelley, just put that Olaf balloon in there. And so she did that. And then of course I was like, oh no, what did I do? Because then Carter was just like, baby Olaf. Like he was just so excited that it was baby Olaf. But he was 3 and a half at that point. So he was still really young and didn't quite understand, the whole, I don't know. I remember I have a video of him where we're laying in bed and I said, we should call the baby Penelope. And he was like, no, baby Cyborg. But he was, I don't know. He cracked me up with all that. Just always calling it Baby Olaf Cyborg Engineer, which the Olaf was because Frozen was out by then. And
it was really big then, yeah.
Cyborg came from Teen Titans Go. Bodie liked that show. And then the engineer was because big into Thomas the Train. He just loved trains and Thomas. Eddie was big into trains and liked Thomas. I'm going to have to get better about that. not using.
I know it's hard.
And we have a dog that we adopted back in April. Actually, Easter weekend, we got her. Her name is Princess Peach. She is an Australian Shepherd mix. She's a sweet girl. She was about 10. They estimated she was about 10 months old when we got her. So she's a little over a year old now. She can be a pain in the butt too. Especially, she gets so excited when you walk through the door. And I read all these things that said, oh, if you just don't pay attention to it, they'll get rid of that. No, we've had her all the time.
No, they won't.
Yeah, she still is. I mean, I could go to the mailbox and come back. She could watch me go to the mailbox and come back, and she's still excited to see me. And I'm like, literally, Peach, I walked to the mailbox and back. But we had to name her Princess Peach, even though I had other names picked out. But I went to go to the store to get dog supplies and came home and she had a name. So it is what it is. So yeah, that's
Hey, those are kids for you though.
yeah. But that's my life. Yeah. We're just every day, 3 kids and a dog and a husband. And this year, my husband finally got to start working from home with everything that's going on, which has been nice. Oh, and you got to work from home.
Yeah, I
too.
think a lot of people for a little bit, yeah. With me being the teacher, yeah, we are working. Well, we still have to go in, but there's 2 days where we go and have kids. So and it's nice to see them, to see their faces. And
Oh yeah.
I take small groups of kids. That's what Table 1 does. So it's nice to see their faces. It's nice to have them in the schools and all of that. It's nice to have them there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like whenever, even though I have a college degree, I am a cook at the schools, and I took the job because of the hours and because I think that's the best part of the day is when they get to eat that in recess. So they are super excited, and when they're not there, I don't like it because it's slow and it's just miserable without them. And the way it works here is even if they are remote, if they're full-time remote, we still hand out hot meals. And we also do boxed meals. I'm not sure what it's like in Shelley's county. I know she's talked to me about it. But in our county, we do a hot meal when they're not in school. And then they finally did come back, but then they went back out again. But when they were there, we did breakfast and lunch like we normally do. It's a little different. Some classes stay in class and some come to the cafeteria because they try to distance them because they don't have their masks on at that time. And the kids miss it. Excuse me.
They do. You can tell that they miss each other, especially the younger ones. Like during lunch, especially. Like I remember the first couple of days where they got to come back, and especially like the younger ones, like kindergarten, first grade, they're waving across the cafeteria to each other, and you don't think about it, but they haven't gone to see their friends. You know what I mean? And it makes it all, so they're extra talkative, and they're
Right.
talking across tables and waving, and you can't tell if they have their hand up because they need something or if they're just waving.
Right. Yeah, I know, like that very first day that they had like a 6-week where they were out over here, and that first day they came back, I looked out while I was watching them eat, and they were all zombies. Like they were so tired, but they weren't used to getting up like that. So, and then you do have some that are morning people. So then, they're sitting there smiling and laughing and having a good old time. But yeah, no, I'm definitely glad that they are back. Well, semi back, because now our board has put them out until January 4th. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't go back. I mean, I don't even know. Every county varies. It's very different everywhere here. I don't know what other states are doing. I would love to know. I'm so interested in what other states are doing and if it's and what they're doing if it's working. I'm always interested in
You
that.
guys will have to. Yeah, they'll have to leave. You guys will have to leave comments or posts about that to us so we know what's going on around the other states.
Exactly. So what else could we talk about?
Let's see.
Let's say Shelley could talk about the single life. No. I fantasize.
It's definitely different than married. I mean, we've talked a lot about the fact that I get to hear about married life, and of course I'm single, so I don't have that right now. And there are times where I'm quite glad I'm single, and it's different. You get to come home, you don't have anybody to answer to. If you want to lay down on the couch and watch a movie for 2 hours, you can lay down and watch a movie for 2 hours. You don't have to say, oh, what movie or what TV are we going to watch, or what time are you going to go to bed, and that kind of thing. So I don't know, that's definitely a different aspect to it. It makes it, I don't know, like I said, there's times where I like the independent life. Now there's times like when the lawn needs done or something needs repaired around the house, that kind of changes things. That's when I wish that I had somebody. But I've learned a lot through my home ownership of almost 8 years. It'll be December 20th will be 8 years since I bought my first house. So in the 8 years of home ownership, I've learned quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because there's still stuff I don't really know what to do. Like, the nice thing about being married is if a light bulb goes out, I don't even know. Tony just changes it. So it's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, married life is, I don't know. It's like, my pastor, that's what I was getting at. My pastor was, he always asks me when he's around, he's like, which they're more like my grandparents, but he'll say, has life changed since you got married? And I always tell him yes. And then he'll say, he asks me this almost every time. He's like, has life changed since you had kids? And I always say yes. One time he asked me and I said, I don't even remember. I don't remember life. I remember life before marriage, but I don't remember life before kids, if that makes any sense. Like I don't know. I had my first when I got pregnant at 20 and had him at 21. So that was all of my 20s. And yeah, and I swore I wouldn't have him in my 30s. I kept saying, nope, I've done it all through my 20s. I'm done. So I had my last one I turned 29 and then I had my last one. So a couple weeks later. So that worked out. So we are done. No more kids.
That's what it tells me. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what everybody tells me. I won't remember. Like, it'll be like once I do find someone and get married that I won't remember the single life. Because all my friends know I'm very independent and I'm very, I like to do things my way when I want to do it. So it's definitely going to be a change for me when that does happen. But I think it will get to the point where I won't remember all of that, how it was before.
Well, you'll definitely fantasize about it. You might not remember, but you'll fantasize about the single. Well, it's not, I don't think it's like, we were talking about it. Oh, like when, what is that? All Knocked Up. There's that part of it where, they're talking about the DeLorean and they make the women mad because do you ever see that movie? Knocked Up? Yeah, we watched it in college, I think. No?
It's a long time. Yeah.
But there's a part where they're eating dinner with the girls and they're talking about like before kids and if they had a DeLorean, would they go back in time? And so we all fantasize about that. Like getting in the DeLorean, which is another good movie. We actually watched those during the pandemic. We watched a lot of stuff when the pandemic started.
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
I know I've been on a lot of TV kick lately since then. I've hit a lot of shows and just movies that I probably normally would not have watched. I'm on a Disney kick right now for some reason.
My favorite's Cinderella, so she will sit down. Because if she wants to watch something, she'll go, "I'll watch Cinderella with you," and I'm like, "Okay." So we'll watch it together. But her favorite for the longest time was Moana. She was like 2 years old, and that's all over and over and over. Had to watch Moana.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's like, I mean, my favorite. I used to love Cinderella, and I would have my mom. We had a video store right next to a restaurant in our city, in the city where I live, and we would go there, and I'd either get Cinderella or I'd get Goonies all the time, and never failed.
Yeah,
those two movies every time we'd go.
Well,
and now, I mean, I think my favorite movie now is Beauty and the Beast. As an adult, I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah, well, it's good. That's a good one too. Well, and I like probably my favorite version of Cinderella would probably I like the cartoon, but I just like that storyline as a whole. And I like Ever After with Drew Barrymore. That's probably I actually watched it the other day. That's a movie I could watch.
I think yep.
Over and over. So that would probably between that and Mean Girls are probably my favorite. I never did say what my favorite.
I was gonna say top too.
Yeah. I never did say what my favorite TV show was when I was back. I'm looking through, and I didn't say. So, a TV show that I could probably watch over and over and over and not get tired of would be Desperate Housewives. I love that show. I cry, I laugh every time I watch that show. And I just think that if you can laugh and cry, that's the best. I just love that. Like cry, you could one scene you're crying, the next scene you're laughing. So I like Desperate Housewives. That's probably my favorite. It was Game of Thrones.
I thought it was going to be Will and Grace.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely in college. Yeah, because I had all the seasons and I watched them. Yes, I like Will and Grace. That's another one I could watch a lot, but I don't. Desperate Housewives can really get to me though. I can really cry at that show. It's ridiculous. And as I get older, it only gets worse. It doesn't get better.
No, it really doesn't. The emotional, no. I find myself crying more now than I ever have during certain shows or movies or whatever. Yeah, I don't, because I never used to be like that. I mean, I don't even think I cried in the movie Titanic when everybody else was. I don't even think I cried in that.
That one doesn't bother me. I don't listen. Okay, we were watching spoiler alert. Like we were watching. We did all the Avenger movies, right? And so I cry. Spoiler alert. I cry when Iron Man dies, and so I'm sitting there crying like a big baby. And then I cry when Captain America doesn't come back. At the very, very end, they put him on the time machine and they send him back and they're like, okay, we're going to pull you right back. Like, you got to do your thing and then we'll pull you back. Well, he never shows. So they think they lost him and they're like, oh my gosh. One of the other characters looks over and Captain America is like 70 some years old and is sitting on the bench. And what he had done is he went back to find his love and lived his life with her. And I don't know. So that made me cry because I liked that. I was like, oh, how cute. And I don't know. The whole Iron Man thing to me was just that was just very sad. And Tony's like, why did you get so upset? And I was like, well, because like if you go back and watch all the Iron Man movies, which I did, he's so, that's what he's so caught up on. Like it puts him in a depression. It gives him anxiety. Like that's his whole thing is protecting the earth, saving the people. Like that's just like, he has, like, that's his huge thing. Like he can't get that out of his mind. And so that's how he dies, is saving the earth. So I don't know. It was very sad. Very, very sad. But anyway, and I cry at Father of the Bride all the time. Still Magnolias, I cry at it. I'm a big fan. And those are movies I will cry without a doubt every time.
That's like P.S. I Love You for me. Like I would not buy it. And I love Gerard Butler. Like he's my ultimate favorite actor. And I love him in it, but I would never buy it for myself because if I need a good cry.
Yeah. Yes, if you need a good cry, then watch it. Watch a movie.
That's the one I put in because it never fails.
I think I've only ever seen that one time. I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once. It's so weird because normally when we're on the phone, I feel like it flows so well. And then we're doing this and we're like, all right, guys, that's it for this episode. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, that's it in a nutshell.